Hello and welcome back to Serious About Salvage, another video on the channel. So today we're going to be back onto the Mini Cooper S / John Cooper Works because I've got most stuff for this car now. The bonnet and the bumper are back from the paint shop, so we can build them back up. We can get the bonnet on, get it aligned with the headlights, but mainly I want to install this new turbo actuator. The old one got damaged, I can only presume by the previous owner removing the downpipe in a bit of a hurry because it was getting taken away for salvage. So it's not running the best at the minute, and I'm hoping this is going to solve them issues. So I want to get that fit. I'm not too sure how hard that's going to be right now, but that's the main aim for today. And then, like I said, get the bonnet and bumper built back up, get the grills back in. Yeah, mock it up basically. Let's have a look what it's going to look like. So I'm quite excited. Yeah, so as always, if you do like these videos, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Not far off that 20,000 subscriber mark, so that's a big milestone I'd like to hit sooner rather than later. So yeah, let's just dive in. Let's just get going. Right, so we've got the bonnet over here and we've got the bumper. And we've got all these bits of grille and trim to put back together. It's been a couple of weeks since I pulled it apart, so it should be interesting. So yeah, we've gone for the gloss black headlight surrounds. I much prefer them over the chrome. And I thought, just as an experiment, seeing as the bonnet was red when we got it and the scoop was red, let's leave that red. Because I think black surrounds, red, and then the red line on the grille, which is over here, I think it'll look nice. And just to top that off, what I did was, if we just grab this grille, now this grille is going to go in there, so just picture that being in there. I bought these, where are they? These little red fin covers. So, a bit like that. So I'm thinking red scoop, red line, two little red lines, one there, I think would look nice. So we'll try them, see what it looks like. So I'll get this bonnet moved out into the open over here, get it on the stand, and we'll put it back together, get it mounted. Or should I do the actuator first? Yeah, I'm going to do the bonnet. Do the bonnet, let's get it mounted on there. And then we'll have a go at swapping the actuator out, which I don't think it's going to be right easy in all honesty. And then perhaps at the end we will build up that bumper. Let's just see how we get on. Right, well, we're starting to get an idea of how this is going to look. I'm still undecided about that red vent at the moment. I think we need to get the bumper on to make a decision. Some adjustments are still needed to the headlights. You know, this needs to come down a bit, this one. And this one needs to go left. But it all lines up pretty well. Excuse me, indigestion. That side's great. The other side isn't quite as good because obviously we've still got that bit of damage to the old wing. It's obviously out here, but that wing's been pushed. So I don't know how much better I'll get that. But yeah, I faffed around with that for about an hour, to be honest with you. So I'm going to build up this bumper now. And then I think I'll probably have to come back in the morning and we'll put the actuator on in the morning because it's getting on a bit. I've only had 2 hours today spare, so spend an hour on this bumper maybe. And yeah, come back tomorrow. So let's get this bumper built up, try and put it in place and get an idea on this vent. Wow, I'm starting to like the look of this now. What do you think? We've obviously got some alignment issues, so don't worry about that. Plenty of. Driver's side looking good. Passenger side's a bit weird at the moment. I think something's still a bit bent somewhere. I think this should be up there somewhere. So I need to have a fettle with that. But how good does that look? Do you know, I'm starting to like that red scoop now, you know. I'm starting to like that red scoop. What do you reckon too? I'm thinking we should go for it. I suggest that one's that side. Oh, I'm losing stuff today. I've misplaced all the clips for the black front headlight surrounds. I've got a feeling they're at home. I'll just place that in there. What I might do is get a black Mini badge. So let's step back. So the bottom red tabs will be brighter. I like that. I really like that. What a good looking car. Yeah, I'm sticking them on. These are getting stuck on. I'll be back in a minute. There we go. I like it. I do. Obviously ignore the edge. That looks, to me, that looks really good. Barring that obvious issue there, a bit of alignment issue. Tweak the headlights. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. What a good looking car. What do you think, guys? You tell me your opinion. Think it looks good? Do you think it's too much? Like I said, we can get that painted red. I mean, black, gloss black. But I think with the, with the red bar along the middle of the grille and the two little red fins at the bottom, I think it looks really good. I like it a lot, I think. I like that. Right, it's tea time. I've got bits of trim to realign. So bear in mind, this is only a quick mock-up. I've got to take it all off again yet because we've still got to fit the pedestrian protection. It's only held on loose. So obviously when it does go on for its final fitment, we'll work a lot harder with the alignment of things. But I'm very happy, very happy. Bumper wants to go to the left just a touch. Love it. Let's shut them doors a second. Yes. Right, tea time. I'm going to be back in the morning. We'll continue in this video. We'll get the actuator on. Actuator. And then he'll have to come back apart for now. Until next week, when the pedestrian protection tube turns up, then we can fit it all back together properly, line it all up. And I'm so glad that I went ahead and did this car. Really, really glad. Right, I'll see you, well, in a few seconds. For me, it'll be overnight. Right, hello everyone. I'm back. So to finish off this video, and the only real thing we can do now is fit this actuator, the turbo actuator. Electronic actuator. So, like I said, I think the previous owner, in a bit of a rush, trying to get their aftermarket downpipe off, they've ended up smashing. They've basically smashed off where that seam is there. This end has smashed off the old actuator. So, yeah, it's not fixable. So we'll get it up in the air, have a little look, and see how easy it's going to be. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this car's looking. As you see, the colour match is pretty much spot on. Yeah, it's getting there. The pedestrian protection tube has turned up this morning, but I'm still waiting for the absorber, the crash absorber, which is basically the polystyrene foam which holds the tube. So let's have a look. So how much you can see up there? I think you can see actually it's quite light, isn't it? The actuator is up there and there's only the end of it left. If you look here, that's part of it. That's part of the actuator. That's the part that's smashed up to the end with the plug in it. So it's basically, it's not getting controlled at all. So we need to somehow get that actuator changed. And well, it isn't going to make for good videoing, put it that way. So I'll probably just do this off camera, get it swapped out. I can't get a camera in there, you're not going to see much. But yeah, it's looking good. Looking really good. So I'll crack on with it. I'll get it off, show you the old one, and then I'll get the new one in and we'll see if we can lose some codes, basically. There was a code for this, so I'll come back to you shortly. Well, that took some wrestling, I'll tell you. So in the end, I had to undo the engine mount on the driver's side and lower the engine enough that I could get to the actuator through the wheel arch. It was a pain in the backside, I will be honest. So this is the old actuator. As you can see, it's in two pieces. Now, like I said, the only way that could have happened is when the previous owner removed their aftermarket downpipe. They've given that a clatter. So a little bit of care, you know, and we could have done away with having to do that, but that's the way it is. That's Salvage cars for you. There's a bit for it as well. In all honesty, you know, if it was my car, I'd just want the bits off it, and I wouldn't really be interested in what happened to it afterwards, but some of us have to suffer down the line. Anyway, it's done, it's running. In terms of engine codes, no engine codes left on this car. The only codes we have still are for the pedestrian protection, which we know is the tube across the front, which is why we haven't fixed that on permanently. And the headlights. The headlights aren't working, but I know why. A couple of you know, said in one of the other videos, these LED headlights on Minis, BMWs, if you change them, the new pair you put on have to be coded back to the car. You can't just plug and play. Seems a bit stupid, I know, but unfortunately that's the way it works. So I'm going to have to buy a program called Insta Plus, in particular Insta P I think it's called. You're going to have to bear with me on this stuff, I don't know that much about it. I think it's called Insta P, and it means that I can then plug into this car via you know, OBD to USB lead on a laptop with Insta P installed, and it means I can program these headlights back into this car, and that should be fine then. They should work. I'm still getting a code for the do you know the sensor that's on your control arm to alter the height so that when you have passengers in the back it lowers the beam and stops blinding people. I'm still getting the code for that, but I don't know if it's because the headlights aren't working full stop. So I'm not going to be messing with that at the moment. The sensor looks fine, I've had a look. I'm not going to mess with it until we've got Insta P and we program these headlights in, because they should work regardless. Even if that sensor is damaged, it would just mean we'd have a code and the headlights wouldn't adjust themselves up and down, but they would work. So the next step really is to get this bumper back off, which we'll do in the next video. Once I've got my pedestrian protection tube, we'll get the bumper off, get the tube back on, plugged in, hopefully then lose all them codes, and then we can fit the bumper back on for the final time, align everything perfect. You know, there is little bits that still need alignment, and it's going to be MOT time. I have got an oil and filter for this car as well, so we can do an oil and filter change on it, get it MOT'd, and it's going to be done. And like I said earlier, I'm so glad that I went ahead and did this car. So it looks £1 million to me. I think it looks really good. So I mentioned in another video that it pops and crackles when you on down throttle. So I've let it warm up because again, a lot of you said that they all do it, and I did check myself, to be honest. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and standard Cooper S's did pop and crackle, the earlier ones anyway. I'm led to believe the later ones didn't, but this seems to do it a lot and quite loud. So, do you know, just for yourself, I don't know if it's been enhanced through a map or this is exactly, you know, as it is, but I'll do it. So it's in sport mode, and we even got a little, you know, power graph. So as you press the throttle, you can find it. So it goes up and down. But I'll try and lean out a little bit and just have a listen. So the warmer the exhaust gets, the louder it gets, and that's a lot of pops and crackles to me. So I don't know if it's the same on them all, or whether, like I said, it's been enhanced a little bit. But yeah, that's it really. I do like it. Some might think it's a bit chavvy, but you can turn it off. You just take it out of sport mode and it stops completely. So that's going to be it for this video. There's not much more I can do now until I get these bits for the pedestrian protection. Then hopefully in the one more video we can have it out the door. A few have been asking about this car in terms of buying it. I am unfortunately keeping this car. I'm going to give it to my wife and we're going to use it. So at the moment it's not going to be for sale, which does mean the Focus ST is going to be sold. So I don't know if anyone's interested in that. We're going to get rid of that and we're going to keep this. So there we go. How does that look? I like it. So yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you've enjoyed this video for today. And yeah, I'll be back soon, hopefully with the bits, and we can finish this car off. And like I said earlier, I'm just thinking now I need to buy something. You know, I'm getting that itch, and I haven't bought something from auction for a while. And if you remember, I've got a Fiat 500 bumper there, and I've got a passenger wing there. So I need to use them. I might as well find a Fiat 500. I've got dirt on my head. That's from sticking my head up in that engine trying to do the actuator. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching as always. I really do appreciate it. See you in the next one. Cheers.